importance of the long-term future of renewable energy, which I guess we sort of just touched upon. But again, there are short-term challenges in renewables. Longer term, it's a fantastic long-term secular growth. Energy efficiency. Again, we've mentioned that this sector behaves very differently to the renewable energy sector. Performance has been very strong here. This is a part of the portfolio where, as we came out of the recession, we saw companies starting to reinvest in particularly industrial capacity. They started to add automation to their facilities. We saw the CapEx budgets expanding, and these stocks have done very well. They're sort of higher beta names in particular, or in general, and they've been a very strong contributor to the portfolio. There are various stats that go around about renewable energy, about energy efficiency, beg your pardon. One of the most interesting ones comes from McKinsey, where they've done an analysis that suggests an annual investment of $170 billion US, quite large, over the next 13 years, would translate to a rise in energy productivity equivalent to a savings increase of $900 billion. What that means is that the investments are actually very cost effective and tend to deliver IRRs in excess of 17%. So it's actually, it makes great sense to invest in energy efficiency, to make a good return on it in the relatively short term. So it's a very compelling investment opportunity. Very briefly here, just referring back to that McKinsey study, you can see that the 900 billion investment saving, or energy saving, is achievable crucially in the industrial subsector. And you can see that where we're investing our money in these funds, particularly in industrial technologies for the automation of industry, is where some of the greatest savings are achievable. On the right-hand side, it shows that the requirement for most of the investment is going to come from developing countries as well. Water. I manage the water funds and Impax. This is an area of the portfolio that's done incredibly well over the long term in quite a sustained fashion. We see a series of very long-term secular growth drivers here. Emerging markets in particular, China, as we know, huge challenges in terms of these population movements that we've spoken about. The whole sector really should be taken in the context of global shortages in some surprising geographies. We'll come on to that in a moment. But we shouldn't actually think of water only as an emerging markets type investment story. The US has a requirement for $298 billion of water infrastructure investment identified by the EPA. And the fact that this hasn't actually come through yet is simply because, out of sight, out of mind, these pipes are underground. We're seeing an increasing number of water main blowouts. And it's just simply a very, very under-invested sector. So we think that whilst the emerging markets portion of the portfolio is very attractive, there are some substantial opportunities to be had in the developed markets as well. It's also a sector that's very heavily legislated globally. It's not just about the developed market. China has some very, very strong policy in place mandating clean and tested water pollution levels. So there are a lot of reasons to be quite cheerful about the direction that this part of the market is going. In addition, in the 12 5-year plan, which is clearly one of these rolling policy movements that China has, they've earmarked $281 billion for investment in water infrastructure in this 5-year plan. And that's set to double to $626 billion by 2020. So very, very big numbers involved, underscoring why this is a very attractive investment. This is all about the imbalance in water globally. Asia, you can see, percentage of the global population is 60, percentage of global available freshwater resource 36. Pretty clear there's a challenge there. Interestingly, Europe also has more population than it has freshwater available. The challenges are not simply in the emerging, but also in the developed market. This really just goes back to this EPA point in the US, $298 billion, nearly $300 billion in the world's most developed nation. Substantial opportunity.
Is there a question there, Simon?
Yeah, I'm curious on that, back to that slide before. So that, you know, there's all the, actually the one with the, just after that, but with all the wastewater and water requirements, particularly at a municipal level, and that's how it's delivered here in the United States particularly. Do you see a higher level of privatization of those systems? Or, I mean, how is this going to be paid for? That's really the big question.
That is the big question. I mean, we've been anticipating a ramp up in investment levels in the US water sector for years, and it's not come. Clearly, municipal budgets currently are extremely constrained. Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable to think. I mean, the listed water utilities that we invest in the US have always used the fact that it's a highly fragmented. There are more than 50,000 water municipalities in the US. A highly fragmented market. The listed water utilities are very keen to try to start to consolidate. It's going to be a huge market. I think it's highly likely that we'll see additional but if financing municipality are very, very weak, it's not an attractive acquisition for listed utilities. So there may be some more privatizations. I think there'll be rather more purchases by some of the larger listed utilities, of which there are very few. There are 6 or 7 listed utilities in the US.
As long as we've interrupted your flow, do you want to say anything about fracking?
Fracking.
Well, and potential...
And the opportunities in water. Yeah, I mean, we have a couple of investments that are focused on cleaning up the water that's used in the fracking process. Clearly, the policy isn't yet in place to mandate particular levels of cleanup required. Clearly, it's a market that's going crazy. There's a lot of people are making a lot of money from fracking at the moment with seemingly little regard for what's going on in terms of pollution of the water table.
But as an investment opportunity?
As an investment opportunity, there are half a dozen ways to play it in the listed arena. We have exposure to it. I think that we'd like to see greater policy support for the cleanup and reuse of that water. That would be a catalyst for some decent value creation. Okay.
One other question about water is there a movement afoot to create distributed water systems, that is rainwater catchment and so on, anywhere from individual neighborhood to city sectors?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, there's every chance the US market substantially better than I do.
I was just curious what you've seen.
I mean, within the water portfolio and within the global green portfolio, there are companies there that are providing technologies to treat and reuse rainwater, for example. There are some what I describe as high technological content businesses offering ultra and nano microfiltration services to municipalities that are recycling rainwater to grey water. I'm not aware of any city or state level policies that are mandating a certain level of reuse. It would be nice to see, but I'm not aware of that. Just on the waste side, I think the key thing to think about with waste, which is something that sort of, I guess it's the sort of more unsung parts of what we do, is that it's a massive market. The sheer scale of the market is pretty scary. Globally, 10 million tonnes of waste are produced every day. The majority of that goes straight into a hole in the ground. We believe in what we try to invest in is that there's a lot of value in some of these waste streams. Again, slightly depending on the quality pricing, but there are some quite good technologies out there that are pulling the recyclers out of the waste stream and creating value for these businesses. And that's a very attractive opportunity for us. It's also a sector where there's been substantial